The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. We kick things off, and we got markets in the positive right now. You're looking at S&Ps. We just hit an all-time high, folks, 7,043 in the pre-market. Equities pushing higher. We got the chip stocks higher yet again. ASML with their earnings. Big-time numbers. Jump over. ASML, there's your acceleration. Up to 1512. We got Lam Research, LRCX. They're higher on that news as well. The 248 NVIDIA this morning, up by another $3. How's that for some volatility? Amazon's laying off 16,000 workers. The market likes that, up to 245.83. We got a big afternoon of earnings. It's a Federal Reserve Day coming out, and on top of all that, President Trump's remarks last night, that dollar. You see the spike lower. We're actually above where we were prior to those remarks. You spiked down to 95.55. The dollar been in a bit of a free fall. Okay, you back it up 9 days ago, and we were at 99.46. You're 3 full points below that price level, and really you hit 4 full points. You've bounced almost 80 pennies from 95.55 last night to 96.32. Metals, you talk about it, it's not stopping. How about 53.45 overnight? Now you see the volatility. There's 3 o'clock. There's your volatility coming into the close. There's your gap last night, and we just continue higher. Gold up another $170 at $52.90 right now. You jump over to silver, 113.62, not quite above that spike high. We had 117.70, but check out the weekly that's happening on silver, man. It's Wednesday morning, folks. Silver's already traded 616,000 contracts. It's Wednesday morning. We get 3 full trading days left. And the biggest week out there is 2 weeks ago at 874. You're already at 616. You only need 260,000 contracts for the next 3 days. Okay? The next 3 days totally. That's 80,000 a day is what you need. We've already done 83,000 by this morning, okay? So we are going to have the volume on silver, and if you finish anywhere near where we are right now, you're trading higher, you're breaking it all with volume. Remarkable. You take a look at the gold volume right now. On a weekly, it's going to be a big volume number as well. We'll see if it can compete to what we had going on in October. But nonetheless, gold up by 3.3%. Interesting that the dollar kind of gets it back. Right? The dollar initially spiked, which had metals going bonkers, but that's given it back since then. As in the dollar, no weaker than it was yesterday at, what's time? 10 a.m. And think about it, you jump over to gold from where we were at 10 a.m. yesterday. Gold's up $230, and you were as high as almost $300 above that price level. Remarkable. Acceleration continues, and you're doing it with volume, especially on silver. Platinum, you're up by 4.4% right now. Now, what happens in platinum is that session closes at 1 o'clock. Later? I got to get what time these futures close at. Yeah, somewhere, maybe 2:30. Okay, so you're up $110 from where you were in the middle of the afternoon yesterday. Platinum up by 4.3% right now. We jump over to copper, up by 6 pennies at $5.92. And natural gas. Now, we get a rollover here of contracts, okay? And so if you're in this natural gas, that's what's happening when you pull up some of these platforms. And yeah, we got a rollover. And when you're in commodities, man, you better believe that those months matter, which one you're in. Pretty remarkable. All right, it is Federal Reserve Day. Now, all things considered, the market, all but certain, okay, that we are not going to get a cut. And when I say all but certain, about a 97% probability right now. When you're looking at swaps, we take a look at the yields. You jump over the 10-year right now. And, we've had some extreme volatility when you're talking about the dollar. But check out the 10-year. Look at the 10-year. Okay, now, yes. you've accelerated, but check it out. Yeah, you're talking about a 10-year right now at 4.25%. And even as the dollar cascades, this is not an instance where we have lower yield. You got higher yield. And still nobody wants the dollar. As you're dropping to 96.23. And that dollar move yesterday, you're talking about back to 2022 prices. Pretty remarkable. Almost 4 years. That was the weakest the dollar's been in 4 years. And you check out that daily, you're breaking it all. You check out the longer term weekly. Okay, 90 is calling this market. That's the next rational stop. That's where we accelerated from in the middle of 2021. That's where you were at the end of 2020. That's where near the lows of 2018. And you got weakness. You're breaking through those levels. We'll see if we catch a bid. But nonetheless, dollar weaker, and we got S&Ps priced in dollars. Okay, our market priced in a weaker dollar. You better believe it, man. 7,043 overnight. All right, you jump over to Amazon. So we got a few stories out this morning. Let's jump over to Amazon. 16,000 workers. Now, as the day wrapped up yesterday, I saw the headlines start ripping out that they had sent an email out. Maybe it was inadvertent. It was obviously coming down the line. But yeah, the company will offer U.S.-based employees 90 days to search for a new role internally. Okay, but guess what? They're terminating 16,000 employees. The total job cuts, 30,000 in the 3 months after initial wave in October. Yeah, the march is on. Now, you're talking about 1%. Is it 1 or 1/10%? Let's see. No, they got 1.6 million. So 160,000 would be 10%. 16,000 would be 1%. Yeah. This is talking about the corporate workforce, though, which is 350,000 personnel, so it's almost 5% of that workforce. And you're going to see this play out. And Amazon, I mean, hey, productivity gains. You better believe it. As in everywhere right now. All right. So we get the Fed at 2 o'clock. With their announcement. Chairman Powell will be speaking at 2:30. And then after the close tonight, we get Microsoft out with their numbers. You get Meta out with their numbers as well. Both those equities slightly in the green. You get Tesla. You ready for some volatility? After the bell today, Tesla up about $3 to 433. I've been talking about Tesla's got some volume on the way up, folks. All right, this acceleration in December, there's your daily. All right, these 3 days did it. The 12th, the 15th, and the 16th. Remarkable strength with volume. You did have some selling up here, but just chopping around. And we have not had selling since. You put it on a weekly, and there's the same bar I'm talking about. Right there. You accelerate to the highs with volume. You pull back on lighter volume. Tesla's got volume at those highs. So we got, Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla today, among many others. Okay, and then you get Apple tomorrow. Apple down about $2 this morning at 256 from 258 right now. You also get IBM after the bell. Check this one out. So IBM, you're up about $1. This thing's been on fire, man. You get all this acceleration from their last earnings. So IBM after the bell, Waste Management, one of the companies after the bell, Lamb Research. Search LRCX after the bell as well. Stay tuned, folks. We're coming back. We'll take a look at some equities. Big day in the markets. Come right back. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger Zen, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years, with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger Zen, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Welcome back, folks. We have the S&Ps up by 11 points. NASDAQ 100, we're up by 168 points right now, 26,239. Now, that's your weekly. You take a look at the short-term acceleration, man. You talk about it. Sunday night, you open at 25,400. You're up almost 1,000 points overnight from that open. Pretty remarkable where we were Sunday night, where we are right now. And, yeah, you jump over to NVIDIA shares. NVIDIA, remember, folks, $25 billion in market cap, basically. 25 billion shares, just under that number. Let's see what it is exactly. 24-point-something billion shares, I believe, as they keep chopping that number down with some buybacks. 24.3 billion shares outstanding, okay? So call it 25 billion. You're up by $3. 75 billion in market cap added overnight. And before we get into some of the earnings of companies like Starbucks, yeah, China approves purchases of NVIDIA's H200 chips. So that is going to ease some tensions. China is now approving the purchase of those chips, which of course are not first generation, whether they're second or third or where you put it. But yeah, which would be worth around $10 billion. Whew. So Alibaba and ByteDance received the initial batch of approvals, and authorities are expected to greenlight more imports in the coming weeks. And they're going to want their own AI chips, but they don't have them just yet. And yeah, quite a round and round. We banned the chips. And these are the H20, which were a less powerful cousin of the H200, right? And now, this is the H200 that's now approved, not the H20, okay? So that hit in chip stocks this morning, of course. We jump over to coffee. So, Starbucks jumps after the coffee change. Traffic grows for the first time in 2 years. Same-store sales climbed. Earnings, they miss 56 versus 59. Revenue, that's a beat. Net sales up 6%. And here we go. Global same-store sales increased 4%. Market was looking for 2.3. Traffic grew 3%. That's the first time the company's transactions have grown in 2 years. Transaction growth from both loyalty program members and non-members for the first time since the second quarter of fiscal 2022. U.S. same-store sales up 4%. Holiday offerings. Who's out there drinking all those peppermint mochas? International same-store sales up by 5%. China same-store sales 7%. The company opened 128 net new locations in the 90 days. Pretty remarkable, right? 1.5 stores opening every day. Starbucks plans to open 600 to 650 net new company-owned and licensed cafes. And that's on the heels of shuttering 400 in the U.S. Jump over to Starbucks, SBUX. They like those numbers. Same-store sales growth. They miss on earnings, but they're beating on revenue and they're beating on growth. Starbucks up to 101. Now there's your acceleration from when Nichols got hired. You jump from 76 to 96 in a heartbeat. Here we are a year and a half later, and it seems like the signs are starting to point to a potential turnaround. It's going to take more than a quarter, and the holiday quarter is a special quarter for Starbucks, right? You think about it, the holidays, the Christmas time, the lattes. They have the pumpkin spice lattes all fall on there and as well when you're talking about what you're talking about, right? You get all of it in the same quarter. Pumpkin spice lattes, Thanksgiving, and holidays. Take a look at the volume on this thing. All right, so this is it. If we can get above this bar here, we'll see if we can do some volume, and you'll do some volume today. It's going to be a big day for Starbucks in volume. It's a big day in the markets in general. But you're going into where we were 6 months ago when you cascaded lower. The high out there is 98.89. We're going to open at about 101.50 to 102. Put this thing on a monthly. So you're getting above some critical areas here. 100, a nice round number. That's the highs of 2019 as well. So you want to see that number hold today if you're a Starbucks bull. All right, some other companies out with their numbers this morning. You got ADP, private payroll company. They're down about $7 on their numbers this morning. You jump over to ASML. They out. Yeah, they're out so far. Up about $50. Yeah, look at that acceleration to 1609. But just like that, we're back to 1498. Whoo. That was Tuesday yesterday. AT&T. There's some volatility for you. AT&T, an initial spike. Their numbers this morning, you're back to 2317 right now. PGR, Progressive. They out yet? Yeah, they are out. They're at 209. And boy, let's check out those insurance companies. Quite a day for them yesterday. Catching a slight reprieve with the market today. UNH down from 350 to 280 yesterday. You're at 285 this morning. You closed at 282. CVS got hammered yesterday. You're flat right now at 72, down from 84. On Monday afternoon, Humana at 207 from 207, flat as well. And yeah, you're going to see that one popping up, man. When you're talking about Medicare Advantage, no increase in the allowed expenses, and those insurance companies getting hit as either margins are going to get squeezed or benefits are going to get squeezed, but it's going to matter, and you're seeing it matter. 20%, man, for UNH. CVS down 14% yesterday as well. You check in on Amazon on their cutbacks, up about $1 to $2.45. We'll keep our eye on yields. The 2-year right now just chopping around. So we get a Fed decision at 2 o'clock. And like I said, all indications are right now that the Fed stays right where they are. 97% probability when you're talking about this meeting that the Fed does nothing. You go to March 18th, their next meeting, 82.2% chance still that they stay where they are right now, with 3.5 to 3.75 being the target range. April 29th, Chairman Powell's last meeting. Come on. 68% chance they stay where they are. You start to have a little bit of a reasonable probability right now, about a 30% chance that you get one cut by April 29th. But guess what? Things really change when you get the new Fed chair as things shift to a 47% probability. The market's still pricing in a 37% probability that Powell gets no cuts and the next Fed chair gets no cuts. I think that's a little high. We're coming back for the opening bell, folks.
Skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com and hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com and hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got equities open. S&Ps, you make an overnight high at 7,043, and we're up by 18 points or 0.25%, trading at 7,028 right now. NASDAQ 100, chip stocks, higher yet again. You're right near all-time highs. Not quite there yet. We get those highs hanging out there from October. But, yeah, you're only about 130 points, 140 points from that price level right now, 26,250. The Dow up by 83 points right now. The Dow weighed down by UNH, among others, yesterday, but up by 0.2%. And the Russell, 2694, up by 0.6%. Bitcoin chopping around near 90,000, up by $570. Crude, $63. You're breaking. Up by 60 pennies, up by 1%. We keep our eye on the dollar. Talking to our man Teddy Kegstad next segment. Great day to have him on. Talk some Forex, 96.24. You hit 95.55 last night on the President's Comments, and you're a bit higher. And yeah, gold, 5,288, up $166 or 3.2% for gold. Silver, almost hitting 114 right now, up by almost $8, 7.5%. Platinum up by $120 as well. And copper up 1% as well. All right, we're checking some of the companies with their numbers. Ooh, look at this give back. Okay, ASML up by 1%. NVIDIA, the market likes that news. They're going to be able to sell China's going to let their companies buy their chips, right? The H200 up by 1.4% right now. We check in on Starbucks on their numbers. They're liking those numbers, man. Look at this, up by 10% on Starbucks. AT&T up by 4% on their numbers. And ADP on their numbers, slight bit on the open, but down by 1%. All right, as I mentioned, we kick off some big tech earnings today. Microsoft kicks it off after the bell. They're flat this morning. You jump over to Meta. Their numbers after the bell today up by $1.40, $6.74. Let's take a look at Meta. We've had quite a pullback recently in Meta from $7.96 in August. You gap lower 3 months ago. We've come right back up to where we started that gap. $6.76. That's your daily. Let's take a look at the weekly. It's a tough one. You know, you do have some strength here at the week of December 15th. That was options expiration. There's your acceleration on that Friday and options expiration December 19th. You trade higher with some volume in December. But look at what you're trading into, man. You're trading into 4 weeks of trading when this thing ripped lower from 760 all the way down to 581. And you don't have any strength that compares to that pullback right now, folks. Be careful, okay? You are trading higher on lighter volume on Meta going into their numbers after the bell today. And Tesla, as I mentioned, I like the volume, and that is quite a spike to highs in that same week. Options expiration in December. Tesla's got volume at the highs, man. All right, and then you get Apple with their numbers tomorrow after the bell. Apple right now down about 0.1%. Check out IBM. So IBM, let's back this up even. Look at these channels IBM trades in, right? Remarkable downtrend channel from 2012. Things shift a bit, and you get going in 2020. Okay, that's your COVID acceleration. You rebound, and then things really take off. Look how you break above this channel you had here. You come back and you test it April of 2024, and you're a rocket ship since then, man. And look at this strength on IBM. I like it. Basil's had some great trades on IBM recently, folks. Look at this run, man. You got highs, 319. That's your monthly. Okay, that's October, the run higher in October. You take a look at the weekly, same thing. Look at this thing, man. From their earnings 90 days ago, you accelerate higher on volume. You back off on lighter volume. And yeah, I like it, man. IBM, strength to the upside. You're flat right now, and IBM has their numbers after the bell today. Waste Management after the bell today as well. Let's check it out. Yeah, you got some decent strength. This is a weekly. Some nice numbers last week. 10 million shares. They had some tough going around their last earnings, but you've had some decent buying since then. That's your weekly. Let's take a look at the monthly. Yeah, you trade lower in October, and look at November, man. You trade higher, and you do it with increased volume. Tough to do when you come into an earnings event. Waste Management making a run for the highs at 242. You're at 231 right now. Markets green across the board. Bitcoin up by $640. Let's see what else we got for earnings right now. So Visa, they'll be out with their numbers Thursday after the bell, along with Apple. Yeah, quite a monthly, of course, going on. You have the 10% cap rate for credit cards. We'll see how that plays out. That's part of the reason you got this decline. And look at this, though. You're doing it with volume. All right, we got 3 trading days left in the month today, Thursday and Friday. Friday's the last trading day of the month, but this is going to be one of the biggest months you've had, and it would make sense when you have a 10% cap on credit cards, however that's going to work. But, yeah, you've done 141 million shares so far. Let's see what we're doing on a daily. Look at this. You're doing 6 million, 7 million a day. So we got 3 full days. You're going to do another 20 million or so. And we have their earnings. So let's say you do another. That's your weekly, excuse me. You go to the monthly. Yeah, you're at 141. You're going to be about 160. Look at this. Yeah, you're going to potentially have the most volume you've had since August of 24 on Visa. Okay, so Visa, they're out with their numbers on Thursday after the bell. No, AXP. There we go. American Express, we take a look at them. Yeah, they're going to have some big volume too. Makes sense. Credit card industry. A lot of volatility. But American Express looks a lot stronger than Visa on that chart for sure. Now, MasterCard, what are they? MA. They'll be out with their numbers Thursday, tomorrow, before the bell. Yeah, same deal. All this selling from that announcement, a monthly basis. This is going to be a big one. Look at this. Oof, this is going to be the most volume you've had on MasterCard. You're already over 70 million. Look at this, man. 2022. It's going to be a bearish engulfing. You're going to do it on volume. Be careful of these credit card companies right now. It's been a heck of a run, and you got a lot of unknowns in that market, to put it lightly. Okay, gold making a run on the open as well. Continuing to climb up by $187. We jump over to silver, $115.18, within about $2.50 of the all-time highs, and platinum right now, $26.78. All right, we check back in on the dollar, 96.21. Markets in the green, dollar right now, chopping around right where we were at the close yesterday. Stay tuned, folks. We're coming back with Teddy Kegstad, writes the Tiger Forex Report. We'll talk some Forex. We'll talk some commodities, some markets. Always a great conversation. Great day to have him on. We got a Fed day. We got the dollar with volatility, and gold, all-time highs. Stay tuned, folks. Come right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day, Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We got the S&Ps hitting 7,000, the cash, for the first time ever. We got gold rocking the highs. You got the dollar right now chopping around near 96. And to talk about all this action, folks, we're going to jump over to our man Teddy Kegstad. We talk to Teddy every Wednesday at 40 past the hour. You can check out Teddy's outstanding weekly report, folks, the Tiger Forex Report. You get new issues every Monday. Updates throughout the week when warranted. You gain access to an archive webinar Teddy's done. It's $97 a month. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and it's Fed Day as well. And don't forget, he's got a couple great webinars under the Services tab, folks. Capitalizing on time with calendar stock option spreads, as well as Japanese candlestick pattern stock and option strategies. Teddy's written a book on Japanese candlestick patterns. Both of those, $97 as well. Check them out, folks. Teddy Kegstad, we got enough going on today. Good morning.
Yeah, the dollar index is all over the place the past week and a half.
Whew, quite the movement in the dollar. Metals reacting, of course. We got markets at all-time highs, Teddy. We got a Fed day. We got the yen reacting. And I was talking to a friend, one of my best friends lives in Switzerland. We can't help but talk about the Swiss dollar in terms of the Swiss, versus our dollar, man. Pretty remarkable. Right. What are you following most in this market with everything going on? Please, what are you looking at?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a very, very big move from last Monday on the holiday all the way into today, into this Fed meeting. We had more action in the past week and a half than we've had in any month in the past year. So I would be very, very cautious with what's going on. I think you have an over-exacerbated breaking market in the Dixie, and I think you got a rally coming up now. If there's no rate cut today, and especially if the expectations are that there really isn't going to be a rate cut until we have a new Fed chair, I think the interest rates, the yields it's going to be leaning towards the high end, because why wouldn't they? There's no reason right now. We've already had a nice pullback in rates. You have a pullback in the dollar. So I think right now you should have probably a corrective rally, if you will. A breakout to the upside coming up. I think you probably have more bang for your buck on a correction going to the upside than you do on a continuing breaking market for the trend right now with the dollar index. I mean, you've had, excuse me. I mean, just between last week and this week, I mean, if you look at the move, just last week alone was more action than you had seen in months. And now you add in, just Monday or yesterday into today, that dynamic there for the distance of movement that you've seen it's a lot, So, and I think you've shaken out a lot of your small retail traders over the last week and a half. If you're a swing trader, you got blown out by the trend traders in the past week and a half and that momentum. So, and I would be careful of a liquidity trap right now as far as selling into the dollar right now. As we Davos is over, the Fed meeting, like I said, unless they cut rates. And then even if they do, what's the odds of them cutting rates again until there's a new Fed chairman? Probably zero. So I would say, we'll see what happens at 115. Consensus obviously is leaning towards no hike. no cut rather. Especially with what's going on with Powell. Like I said, I think I would be very, very cautious riding this trend right now. I'd look more for a corrective. Normally you want to trade the action, not the reaction, but the reaction here is probably going to be a multi-month reaction, so there's some trade there, I would say. Especially you look at the yen. Look at how the rug got ripped out from that one.
I was going to ask you if you could go to the yen next. I know they're related, of course, to the dollar, but a lot going on in the yen, man. I was reading about supposed rate checks and intervention, and, of course, the story was their yield spiking to dramatic highs, and now we have it pulling back. Does the story line up kind of similar to the dollar there in terms of the move? The dollar you were talking about, it was 4 full points, right? From 99.50 almost down to 95.50 last night, at least, in like 9 days. And the yen, I got it up there. What do you think of the yen? Similar line in terms of the movement, or what do you think about the yen right now at 152.67? I got it, dollar yen.
Okay, well, 152.67 is almost close to where the Japanese, the Bank of Japan wants to see the relationship for the U.S. dollar yen at 150 or lower. So the market's pulled back close to that level. I would say that if I'm right, we'll get a correction in the dollar. Okay, so I think, remember we were talking last week about the U.S. dollar yen, that it was probably getting pretty toppy.
I sure
don't want to call it top. Obviously, there is it to become one, but now we have a gap from last Friday. I see us getting a bounce back up to probably 156, maybe even 157. At that point, I would probably be hesitant to be long anymore. I bet you come back to these lows and see 150 before. I would say sometime between now and the middle of February, definitely before March, that the U.S. dollar yen could be trading right around in a range trade between 153 and 148, probably as we get closer and closer to a new Fed share, especially because today we had the oil spiked up at our target price to the upside. I really think that the high today, maybe it gets taken out by a little bit, but I don't think you're going to have much room to the upside. I think if anything, you're going to see it fall back to the $58, $57 range. Should it do that, then there's no reason to think that the U.S. dollar yen is going to be able to maintain a rally. So, like I said, I think you're going to have a corrective move with the dollar, over the next probably week or two, after the Fed meeting. And you got to realize, markets go out like they come in. You've had so much of a volatility, intraday, let alone to the downside. Even if you have a 30% correction, on a Fibonacci level up to 0.312, or something like that area, that's not a big correction, So, now granted, because of the volatility, like you mentioned, the Swiss. The U.S. dollar Swiss on a daily chart looks like it's had a lot of swing trading, but if you put it on a weekly, you see it's actually compressed. It's very, very tight. So
pretty cool.
Yeah,
I just went through them. Yep, totally. I had the chart up before you even mentioned it. I was going to ask you. Yeah, it looks like a man on a weekly basis. Look at that, folks. Just a little chop, right? Just a little chop. Pretty tight, narrow range. Yeah.
And that's
until last week, at least, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what do you think about his same deal there, kind of with just an exacerbated move? I was talking to my buddy. My best friend lives in Switzerland, so we can't help but talk about it, man. And just like ours, you traded the dollar, went from 99.50 to 95.50. That's 4 full points. That's like a 4% drop. And you have the Swiss dollar goes from 80 to 76 pennies. Just a monumental move in 8 days. Remarkable.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you can see the Swiss probably get back up to 78, 78.5. In that area, which would be right around the lower part of the range that have been chopping in for months, where support becomes resistance. Totally. And I would think that would be a good corrective area. Somewhere you come up into that area, then probably develop a range trade as we start to lean lower, and especially the U.S. dollar Swiss overall on a long-term basis, whether it's a monthly or multi-month basis, it's in a bear trend. It has been in a bear trend for a long time. It's in a breaking market. So you're going to get your corrections to the upside, and be careful with long trades. Definitely the action trade for the U.S. dollar Swiss is to the downside. Short term, no. I would be careful with that one. So, that one especially, the dynamic. Remember, we've been talking about divergence of currencies. So
yes,
even if we get this correction in the dollar and it holds in a range, I would still see the weakness coming back in on the U.S. dollar Swiss trade.
Pretty awesome. I remember, man, we talked about parity so often, man. I remember last time we hit parity, 2022, 76. Teddy, great 9 minutes, man. Appreciate it. Folks, check out the Tiger Forex report. You gain access to this great insights. Teddy, thanks so much, man. Talk to you next week. We'll come right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Gold up 183 bucks, 53.03. Yeah, we jump around to some of those chip stocks. Intel up by 9.5%. ASML, you give back all the gains. You were up to 1,600, and that was a spike higher. You chopped around there at 2 in the morning, 6 in the morning. You were up there at 7 in the morning. You were $100 higher from where we are. They got a conference call going on, and the market giving back some of those gains. Now, you talk about gold, folks. Okay, in the world of crypto, you're going to get quite a merge here. As Tether, how about 140 tons of gold worth $24 billion? Yeah, Tether is shaking up the gold market with a massive hoard. Now, you had 2 HSBC traders. Yeah, 2 of the most senior gold traders quit, leading the bullion bank HSBC Holdings last year. The industry said, where are they going? They didn't think they were going to end up at Tether, and that's where they are. Yeah. So, and this is going to merge when I say it as in buying over 70 tons of gold over the course of the last year for its reserves and its own gold stablecoin. Okay? That's more than was reported by almost any single central bank. Only Poland is greater at adding 102 tons. Good for Poland. Solid buy. The company holds around 140 tons of gold. Now, look at this, man. Share of the overall reserves in terms of what Tether has, yeah, almost 7%. My spidey sense goes a little bit haywire when you're getting into crypto and giving your money to a company like Tether and they're going to hold the gold. Be careful on that one, folks. Be careful on that one, as the inherent risks, as they talk about the financial engineering, etc. All right, gold 53.10, silver at 115, S&P's 7,000 for the first time on a cash, and you got the NASDAQ pushing highs right now as well. Stay tuned, folks. Basil's coming up next. Steve Rhodes, Fast Market. Larry this afternoon. I'll be back for Fed Day coming up at the afternoon. We're going to be live all day.